Have you ever been in a group of people from your tribe, if you're in Nigeria, and just suddenly feel, wow, I don't really feel like I belong, even though I am part of this tribe? So, we have that in Nigeria where elders will just ask you something in your language, and then you smile and say, oh, I don't understand, and they frown and they say, why don't you understand? What was your father doing? What was your mother doing? And because Nigeria is so diverse, you happen to have children that come from homes where the mother is from a different side and the father is from a different tribe. And then because they are from different tribes, they don't speak one language. And so the common ground language becomes English. And so they grow up with English. And because the typical African or Nigerian man thinks that English language equals intelligence, they don't let their children at very young ages speak local languages or home mother tongues. So this is a problem that needs to be changed, because when you grow up as adults, you begin to feel, who am I and where do I really belong? So you go back to your name. Your name is always your root. You go back to your name, but you're answering an English name or a Hebrew name or a Greek name, and you say, oh, even my name is not my language. So what should I do? Maybe I should incorporate small pieces of Ankara, or should I start learning this language? But English has already become the norm on my tongue. English sits well on my tongue. So I can't begin to change all these things. And to the English speakers, you are local because you're not speaking their language how it is supposed to be spoken. So you see, you have this clash of identity, especially when you have a Greek, Hebrew, or English name. And maybe your surname even happens to be English or Hebrew. And so you're coming from houses where your parents don't even speak one language, and then you go into a society where, because you're grown, everybody expects you to speak a language, and then you begin to question, what really am I? And to Nigerians and Africans, you're too English, and to the English people, you're too African, you're too Nigerian. And so in those moments, you're not really sure, you're neither here nor there. And so you get to a point where you just don't care, or you get to a point where you go back to find your roots, or you get to a point where you just make a beautiful blend of both, because human beings are just human beings. We're not supposed to be one person. We're multifaceted people. And let's not even talk about the school systems not allowing pidgin, because they say, who is speaking that pidgin? Stop speaking that thing, you local boy. And then they shun you for even speaking pidgin, the normal. And so you grow up not even knowing how to speak pidgin, and then you begin to learn how to speak, what is this? And you begin to learn how to speak pidgin, and it doesn't sit well on your tongue, and people laugh at you and they tease you, and you say, now so did they speak pidgin? All those things, your Englishifying pidgin, and all those funny things. So this is what happens when language is not taught. And it's funny, it's very funny. Africans choose what they hold dear. They hold language is very dear, but if I leave my head like this and maybe go and defend a project, I am tattered. So they select the things that should be a norm. It's a very weird society we live in. But how is culture in your area? How is your feeling of belonging in your area? Have you always felt like you belonged here? Have you felt like maybe your heart was somewhere else? And they don't even let us watch shows that have our native languages in it, because they want you to speak like the white man. They want you to speak shwing 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 shwing. This is how we mimic, the English speaking people. They want you to speak like that, and they don't want you to have the H factor. They don't want you to have the L factor. They want your dialect to be clean, and they think they've done a good job until you go and mingle with the pure English people, and the pure English people, you look at you like, you must be crazy, man. And all these things happen, and yeah, it's just a very weird phase. But tell me what you think, and as always, Jisike.